All right, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 21 of the PTFootyPodcast. With me here today, we got Kevin,
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Alex,
What's going on, everybody?
Brian for like 10 minutes,
Hi everybody, I'm here for 10 minutes.
and our guest today, Peace Soccer Com, aka Nebs.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
It's a pleasure to have you here, man. I was gonna do Sporting first, but because of some issues, and Brian's gonna have to go soon, so we're gonna start with Benfica. I don't really have much to talk about. Obviously, gonna give you the lineup of the team that beat Passos 3 goals to nil. Ederson in goal, Nelson Semedo, Luizão, Lindelof, and Eliseu across the back. Feza and Pizzi, Salvio and Sebi on the wings, Guedes and Mitroglou. Salvio, Pizzi, and Guedes were the goal scorers. Brian, what did you think of the game?
I thought we had a solid game, especially Gonzalo Guedes looked really impressive. He seems to be getting better and better. We just looked really good at home. I expect to play well like that, Pox Ferreira had a few chances. They could have been a bit dangerous for us, but overall, it was a simple win. There was a lot of fans in the stadium, especially for a Friday night. It's great to see that we keep on winning, especially it's important to win before we play Porto.
Definitely.
So I think that's got our morale up. I think it was a good win, and it was important because the other two teams dropped points. So, yeah.
Yeah. I really don't have a lot to add about the game. I thought Pass tried to come out strong the first 10 minutes, but then they couldn't do much. So, we ended up dominating the game normally. But there's just two things that I wanted to point about. Is that I want to ask you what you thought about Eliseu's game.
Well, the huge difference that we see now with Eliseu and Grimaldo is like when Grimaldo plays, he tries to like interplay with Servi or a striker and like work his way in. While Eliseu is just like once he gets across an opportunity, he's gonna try to cross, which is a bit annoying. He's a good backup to have, but he wasn't bad, especially for a guy who hasn't played in so long. He wasn't bad.
There's just something that I find weird is that he doesn't have to cross all the time, though. He's good enough to make those link-up plays as well, but he's just not doing them. Why do you think that's not happening? Is it coach's orders or?
No, I mean, I wouldn't even say coach's orders because, for instance, Grimaldo never does it. So unless Rui Vitoria thinks Grimaldo is more skillful, which is why he doesn't cross as much. I don't know why Eliseu always does that. Maybe he's not confident enough right now because he hasn't played in so long to do those things. But I mean, like I said, he's a good backup, but he can never start ahead of Grimaldo. Not the way Grimaldo's playing.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to touch upon was Mitroglou. He had a tremendous game and he didn't even score.
Yeah, Mitroglou was one of our best players that day. He was brilliant. He deserved to go for how well he played. And usually we don't see Mitroglou moving as much as he does, like in that game. But he was brilliant. He was a huge help for that win. And he was a real team player that game. If you play like that more often, not say he's a bad striker because I really like Mitroglou and he's really good. But I would like to see him play like that more often,
I think that pretty much sets it for this game. I thought we played well and got the win. Obviously, it was nice to see Salvio get on the score sheet and get him ready for Porto. Then we move on to yesterday's match against Dynamo Kiev, where Benfica managed to win 1-0 with a Salvio penalty. The lineup was exactly the same, but for Grimaldo. Grimaldo played. And what did you think about the game?
It was a disappointing game from our end. It was really stop and go. We looked really slow, like a lot of sideways passing. I don't know if the fatigue is starting to hit the players because Rui Vitoria has kept practically the same team for the last month. But it was just really disappointing. Maybe it was a bit of pressure knowing that we absolutely had to win to keep ourselves in contention, really. But, all that matters, especially in Europe, all that matters is winning. It doesn't matter how you do it as long as you do it. So it was scrappy. I mean, we even saved the penalty that Ederson gave away. He ended up saving it. But at the end of the day, a win's a win. And now we just have to look ahead to playing Porto.
Yeah, that's true. I thought we played decently. I didn't like us going forward. I told my
Yeah.
dad we looked a little bit slow and all that, but I did have put it on my notes here, fatigue with a big
Hmm.
question mark because I thought that came into play. Only Grimaldo was the only guy that was playing. That didn't play last week. I think a couple players needed a rest. For
Yeah.
example, I'd say like Mitroglou, maybe Servi, like 2 or 3 players, nothing more than that, because then it's way too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought we needed to change a little bit. And last point, and I want your opinion first, and then you're free to go because I can discuss this with the other guys. Is the
Yeah.
face injury?
Yeah, that was the biggest loss of that game was Faja. I mean, to me, he's our most important player. He's just huge in that midfield, the way he plays, and we noticed the difference once he came off. We looked a bit sloppier even more without him, and so I'm pretty sure he's gonna miss the Porto game. I think that's a guarantee. I don't think it's as bad as it initially looks. Maybe it's just bruising. I hope. But yeah, he's a huge player for us against Porto without Faja. I'm still confident we can come out with a good result, but if we had Faja, I would be a lot more confident because to me, there's no defensive midfielder in Portugal like him. That's just my opinion. He's an absolute. I've said it before. If not for his injuries in his career, there's no doubt he would be at a huge club like Barca or Bayern Munich or Manchester United, something like that.
Yeah, true. And you're free to go now.
Thanks, you guys.
See you, Brian.
It was a pleasure. Catch you guys soon. Thanks.
Quite a fast performance.
Sorry, and just one more thing, because Alex got me like this last week. Alex, have you ever seen your team win a league title? Yes or no? Gotta go, fellas.
That's a good way to shut off. Nev.
Hey guys, you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we hear you. I wanted to ask you what you thought about Face's injury.
Well, the timing of it is unfortunate. The big game this weekend. Latest reports say he's not going to play, so I think that's going to have a big effect for this weekend's match. You guys should be okay about having some issues.
Yeah. We can hear you, but you're echoing. Maybe you should leave the call and join back because it says that you're here twice. We see you twice.
Yeah,
here,
that might be the issue.
Can you guys hear me better now?
Yes.
Definitely. Okay, much better. Could you repeat yourself? Because
Sorry about that. How about now?
that's
good.
okay. That's okay. Can you repeat yourself now?
Yeah, I was just saying, it was very unfortunate timing on the injury for Faja, obviously with the big game this weekend. And, it's latest reports say he's not going to be playing this weekend. And obviously that is not a very good thing for Benfica. So it's a big game this weekend, and Benfica's lost one of their big players.
Yeah. By the way, can you confirm that you are not a Benfiquista, so Alex shuts up?
Hey, listen. I think you're
Benfiquista, speaking of Porto, I get asked every day what I am, but I can assure you I'm not.
Shavs.
There you go.
you're truly neutral.
I actually do like the Liga team, but it's not one of the big three. I'm from up north, so take your
Chaves.
guesses on what that may be. No, not Chaves. Chaves is more.
Guimarães
It's
then.
Gil
Or Braga.
Vicente. Gil Vicente, no?
Gil Vicente, Braga are the teams that I tend to follow because they tend to
Oh,
be closer
God.
to my town, Arcos de Valverde.
Mm.
Hate Praga. But
Look, they're in third.
There we go.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We confirmed it. It's
They're
fine.
ahead of Sporting.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but I mean, it was just so Alex could shut up because he was saying that you were Benfiquista. So there we go. We got
He'll
that out
never
of the
shut
way.
up, no matter what you tell him.
True, but still.
We're Portuguese, man. We all have our conspiracy theories. Everyone's always going to think what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
That's true. Kevin, before I give my 2 cents on it, what do you think about this injury? Obviously, not from Portuguese point of view, because that's great. But how much does that hamper Benfica's, I guess, momentum going into the Dragão with that injury?
I'm not really sure what to think of it, really. These guys have some oddies to cover his position, so I just think it's being brought up because it might be used as an excuse on Sunday if you lose. But I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Oh God, no, it's not. Yeah, the way that come on, man, the guy's a freaking machine.
It was a dirty
like,
tackle, and it should have been a red. I'll have to say that.
Yeah,
Nah,
but
that wasn't right. I don't think that was right.
Okay.
yeah, because Alex said, shut up, Alex. Like nobody cares right now.
Yeah, it's just his opinion. It's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, it's the
think it's a
same,
red.
same old, same old.
So do I get to say my opinion on this injury?
Go ahead then. Why not?
I mean, I think now is the time when the true Benfica is going to come out. You know, you guys are going to start dropping some points, and it's going to start with Porto, and then
I
just
hope.
down from there.
Okay.
Like
Even
a
if
diagonal downwards.
even if we drop points, I'm not like bothered. Even if we lose, I'm still like confident because I'm first place, still 2 points ahead. Even if we lose, so I am not that bothered. But it just gave me the perfect opportunity to switch off to Sporting, and once again, you guys bottled it and managed to draw away at Nacional. Obviously, strong lineup with Patricio in goals, Kewoto, Quatis, Midland, and Marvin across the back, William and Bruno Cesar. I thought was a little bit strange. Gelson and Ruiz on the wings, Markovic in behind Bas Dost. Alex, besides the time wasting, why did you lose? Why did you draw that game?
Just before I give my opinion, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Rosinho00. 00. Sorry.
God.
You have to correct him every week. This time he corrected
Every time.
himself.
Yeah, I
He
just
was like,
think
"Oh crap, I screwed up."
I had to say it before Kevin did. So
Yeah.
I just think it came down to not finishing our chances again, the same as the week before.
Miracle. That's good. Okay. I thought a little bit of the same. I didn't watch the game like I told you. Like I was mostly listening to it, but you didn't finish most of your chances, and you missed a penalty.
Yes.
And I mean,
I don't
can't
know.
really.
I assume it was JJ's
Yeah.
decision to put William to take the penalty, right? But
That's the stupidest decision ever, right? Like, why
I know it
William?
was.
He's not known for making penalties.
I didn't know this before, but Bastos has never missed a penalty in his career.
And Brian Ruiz is still 100% with Sporting, I believe, as well. He had other players, and Bruno Cesar as well. I thought it was a little bit weird to put William on the spot there.
Should just give it to Gelson. I'm a big Gelson fanboy, so I just give it to Gelson. Give everything to Gelson.
Neves, why did you think that Sporting only managed the point away at Nacional?
Well, I think the obvious reason is they've been missing Adrian, and for the most part, they just haven't been playing that well. Period. They signed Bas Dost, don't even play him today in terms of starting, and it's just one of those slumps that's happening at the wrong time for the club. I also am not a big fan of Ruiz. I'm not really sure why Campbell doesn't play a little bit more. And I just think that they're just not playing very well, and it's coming at the wrong time. And now they find themselves, as you know, this far behind, and I'm sure they're going to want to see a draw this weekend. That's in their best interest. But certainly, it's not a good situation. And I think this is Jorge Jesus' worst time as manager since he lost those 3 titles in 1 week with the Europa League and Kelvin scoring when they were going, and then of course losing to Vitoria when he was at Guimarães in that game where Cardozo pushed them. This is his biggest challenge as a manager, to kind of turn this around. And I know Adrian's back, and they're going to play him, and they made a few moves today. But some people might say it's too early to worry. Some people might say there's still plenty of time, but they really got to turn the ship around sooner than later.
Yeah, it's mostly because Jorge's never managed to get back 5 points, and now he's like 7, I think. So, it's a big challenge for him. And thanks for reminding me here of Brian Ruiz, because I did have that on my notes. And Alex, once again, if I was a commentator right before the Dortmund game, I would say how bad he's been playing. What's up with Brian Ruiz right now, Alex? Why does he play so bad for the last couple of weeks, and then against Dortmund, he was kind of good. He looks like he went back into his old form. What do
See,
you
I
think?
think he's always been playing good. He creates chances every game. So I mean, I don't really know what people are talking about saying he's not playing good.
Damn, you even stated that he wasn't being playing that good. Come on. Don't
Uh,
make me re-roll the tape.
Not last year's form. He wasn't last year's form, but I
Exactly.
mean, he's not playing bad though. That's my point. He's not playing bad. I just think some people overreact sometimes. It's just he's not the Ruiz of last season.
He's not. But yeah, my question goes: why do you think that's not happening? Is it age?
It could be age. It could be something. Like behind closed doors. I don't know. It could be a bunch of reasons. We're not playing good in the first place. So I mean, I don't expect him to shine if nobody else is, except for Jelson, of course.
Mm. All right. Really, this game, you complain about a penalty not being called on Bruno Cesar, but at the end, you guys.
Yeah, that was a clear penalty. I could see why he was reluctant because he gave the one earlier in the game, but I mean that was a clear penalty.
But you still think that Sporting could have and should have done better, despite the penalty.
I think we should have done better, yeah. But I think that if the ref gave that, we would have won.
Okay. Even though that you missed one earlier, you'd still be
because we wouldn't have made the same mistake of giving it to William. We would have just given it to someone better.
And what if they just didn't give it to William? Wouldn't that, I don't know, make him lose confidence?
I don't know.
It's gonna be interesting because I don't know if you remember, but last time this sort of case happened, it was with Lima. Lima missed a penalty with Benfica. And they ended up drawing the game or tying the game, and then next week there was a penalty, and JJ was screaming at the line, saying it's Lima, it's Lima, it's Lima, forcing him to take the penalty. So I'm not sure if he would have, jumped shit with William Carvalho.
Even if I think if he got another shot, if he couldn't miss 2 in a row.
It'd be too bad. All right. I guess this closes up the chapter on the Sporting Nacional, on the Nacional Sporting game. Now move on to Dortmund, which you lost 1-0. Obviously, Adrian Ramos with the only goal of the game. You played weird formation. I mean, I'll give you the lineup real quick, and I'll ask you what you thought the formation was. So you had Patricio in goal, Paulo Oliveira, Coates, Semedo, and Marvin, William, Bruno Cesar, Schelotto, Gelson, Ruiz, and Castanhos. It's all over the place. What did you make of the formation? 4-3-3, 5-4-1.
I'd say it was probably like a 4-3-3 probably. It looked kind of like that. Maybe a 3 at the back actually, but
3-4-3 maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I don't think Castanhos is that good, so I don't think he should ever play again.
See, he played 30 minutes though. He played 30 minutes before this game, and he played 30 minutes in this game. Why throw him out there? It's absolutely ridiculous. Why?
I think maybe because he played in the Bundesliga, but so did Bastos. So
but exactly, that was my first thought. That was exactly my first thought. I was like, oh, maybe because he played in the Bundesliga, and I was like, but Bastos just came from the Bundesliga as well. So I mean, I had the same idea as you. So I find it so weird. It feels like he's burning the player for no reason. Why didn't he start Andre if he didn't want to start Bastos?
I don't know. Well, Andres, he's
but Andre had more minutes than Castaños though. So what I'm trying to make here. Is it if he wants to rest Bastos, then start the guy with most minutes after him. Start Andre. Why not?
Yeah, I agree with you. But I mean, I can see why he would play Castaños since he did play in the Bundesliga. I can see why he would play ahead of Andre.
Yeah, but still, Navs, I want your opinion on this real quick before I go back to Alex. Castaños was rumored to not be a guy that JJ wanted. He was rumored to be one of Bruno Carvalho's signing. And now JJ slaps him in against Borussia Dortmund for no absolute reason to start his first game with 30 minutes on the team. What do you make of that?
Well, when I saw the lineup, I tweeted out that I guess Sporting was given up today because I didn't really, I didn't understand that. I mean, Bas Dost has played, if I recall, in Germany. He has
Yes.
experience playing in that environment, and the other guy obviously hasn't played that much, and now you're throwing him into probably for the Champions League at least the most important game of the season for Sporting if they want any hope to do the Champions League. So I didn't really understand it. It's it's just one of the things that George Jesus used to do the same thing at Benfica, where every once in a while he would just throw some things out there and kind of shake it up and surprise you a little bit. And so I can't say that I understood it either. I didn't really understand Paulo Eleveda being in there. He's the one that got beat on that goal, and they lost 1-0, which when you take into account some of the history of sporting games in Germany is probably not so bad. But at the end of the day, they had some opportunities later on. But it's just very disappointing. It's also disappointing for Portugal's UEFA ranking because, every time we lose, I believe it's Russia and France that just continue to slip away from us, and we're only hurting ourselves a few years down the road. So it's just very disappointing. Again, just with the guy Castaños, I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, my question, really is: do you think that George was tried to burn the player already? Just burn him right away for starting him in this game. Say either you play great or you're done out of the team.
I suppose that could have been the case, but I don't know. I just think it was just a bad decision.
Okay. And Alex, now I'm going to ask you what you thought about Sporting's performance today.
Nothing special. I mean, we weren't great. I don't think we were awful either, but we did create some chances. Like Gelson had a chance where he shot from outside the box, saved from Berkey, and then we almost scored on the rebound. We did create chances, but I mean, their goal was quite lucky. Actually,
Yeah.
not really lucky to be honest.
They had chances.
Yeah, they created chances. We created chances. I mean,
you didn't create that many chances.
We created some chances.
So
I think we created some chances.
Enough to win a draw.
I think enough to win a draw, not to win the game. I thought we were gonna draw the game 1-1. I said that in the group chat. Yeah, I mean, it didn't work out like that, obviously, but I mean, it's disappointing to see because now our chances. It is over, right? Or do we still have a very?
You need to win against Legia and then win against Real Madrid, basically.
So basically, we're done.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm fine with Europa League. I'm good
and
with that.
you could still fail the Europa League. Everything's open from first place to
we're gonna beat
from qualification to fourth place. Everything's possible. You could lose to them, and if you lose to them, then it's very, very bad for you.
Oh yeah.
But Alex,
Legia becomes an important game. I was just going to say Legia becomes a do or die game for them because if they lose, then Legia leapfrogs them, and now you expect Sporting to have to beat Real Madrid at home, and Real Madrid's probably going to play a B team. But still, if Sporting is, do you think they're going to play their best team against Real? They're just, I don't know.
I don't think so.
They got to win.
I don't think
they have to win at Legia, and Legia's got to be pumped up because 3-3 versus Real Madrid, even though they played in an empty stadium today, that's a big result for the club.
Yeah, definitely a big result. And Alex, just before I move on, I just want to ask you if you're worried about the lack of chances converted, because you say that you're creating chances, and I don't disagree with you completely, but you're not scoring enough. You're not scoring nowhere near enough.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said at first. Like your mic cut out for me or something.
Oh, I was saying if you are worried about the lack of chances converted in goal.
For sure I am. I mean, we're not scoring enough. So you have to be almost.
Yeah, but why do you think that's happening? Can you put a finger on something?
I don't know. I think we're trying to play through Gelson too much, in my opinion.
Because I think you're not a team without Gelson, though. I think he's vital right now and the only good player. Not like only good player. You know what I mean? I think he's the heart of the team without Adrian Silva.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, every team has those players, right? Every team has those indispensable players. So
Of
Yeah.
course.
I mean, we just can't be playing through them every game like we do. It gets a bit predictable, and it's clearly not working. So
Mm-hmm. Neves, and I'll ask you before we move on to Porto. Why do you think that Sporting aren't converting that many chances?
I just think they're in a big slump right now. They just don't seem to be. I think part of it is they lost Adrian, and I think part of it is they. I think that Doss is a good player. I like to see Campbell play a little bit more, but I think
Mm-hmm.
part of it is I don't think Ruiz is. Even though he would say that maybe he's been playing a little bit better, the reality is when you're playing up top, one of your jobs is to help create score. Doing that. I think they've got now 2 or 3 games without scoring a goal,
Mm-hmm.
which is that was not to be the case when you think about them getting Campbell and them getting Bastos. I mean, this really shouldn't be happening. And again, I think Jorge Jesus has got to do something because eventually they're going to find themselves by as many as 10 or more points out if they don't turn things around.
I agree, and I think that we're pretty much done with Sporting. And I think, Alex, is there something you want to add to this? Alex.
oh, sorry, my mic was muted. I have nothing to say.
Okay. All right. I guess before we move on, Aroka, what do you think? Alex, muted your mic again. He muted his mic again.
Oh, I did it again. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. I think
Yeah.
I think it's a must win.
But do you think you can get the 3 points?
Of course, I always think we can win.
Okay. So you're predicting a Sporting win against Aroka.
I'm gonna go 2-0.
Better hope.
2-0. All right. Is it away? I think it's away, right?
No, it's
they're
an
home.
Albalade.
It's at home. Why the hell Aroka playing away?
They were just in
twice?
Nacional.
Yeah, but Aroka playing away twice.
They're not the big
never
three.
mind. They played Porto. Never mind. Then they play. Yeah, never mind. Okay, so they're playing at home, so it should be a win, I guess. Because Aroka been in a little bit of a slump. So I mean, it's always that turnaround moment, I guess, for them. If Aroka gets a point, I mean, Tondela did manage to win at the Dragão, so I mean, anything can happen. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I just said that. But now moving on and turning our attention to Porto and Setúbal. And if anybody's listening is wondering why we're flying through this, there's 2 reasons why. First, it's 4-hour difference in the US, so obviously a lot of people have to go eat dinner at 6:30 because that's what they do for some reason in the US. And I want to spend a little bit of time.
I eat at 5:30.
That's amazing.
I'm Canadian, so maybe that's a difference.
That's amazing. And I want to preview the Clásico a little bit, with a little bit of time. So that's why we're flying a little bit through this. But Kevin, you guys played Setúbal in 19 years. The first draw in 19 years. But I'll give you the lineup. Obviously, first Casillas in goal, Layun, Felipe Marcano, and Alex Telles across the back. So usual back 4. Danilo and Herrera with Oliver in the midfield, Jota, André Silva, and Otávio. I'll let you go first, and you'll say what you thought about the game. I just want to say something on the side note that I had is that Setúbal didn't let Porto create any chances after the 60th minute, in my opinion. Now you go on.
All right. I thought that Porto did play very well, especially in the first half. We did have our chances. We didn't bury them. There were 2 penalties that were supposed to be called in our favor and not called. That's not the reason why we lost, but it's 2 plays that could make a huge difference in such an important match before the Clásico. So instead of possibly drawing the same points as Benfica if we won on Sunday, now we'll be 2 points behind regardless. So that was a huge...
Can you just tell me what other penalty you're mentioning? Because I honestly...
The handball, and then the Otávio being brought down on the box.
Okay, I didn't see the handball. I got
It's the vouchers. We both should have won our games.
Yeah, okay. Go on.
Should have.
Sorry, I asked.
I just
Sorry,
found
I
it.
asked. Jesus
I just found it a
Christ.
bit weird that Porto got robbed 2 penalties and Sporting didn't get that second one that should have been the week before the Clasico. But we'll get into
Yeah.
that maybe next week or something. But yeah,
Yeah, right. You know
Next
the
week,
rest
next
is
week
gonna
when
be
Porto get robbed, we'll see. We'll talk about it.
yeah, obviously. Yeah, of course. Jesus Christ. Whatever. Go on.
so yeah, we had our chances. That's not the reason why we dropped the points. So that's what it is. Today against Bruges, we played very well in the first half. I think halfway through the second half is when we started to pick it up and started playing very well. We had a ball to hit the crossbar. André Silva's goal took a deflection. They did deserve the win. After the 75th minute or so, Bruges came back.
I thought it was way earlier.
Well, maybe, but from what I saw, in my opinion, Bruges really turned it up. 75th minute on.
Yeah, you talking about Bruges, bro.
Yeah, I know. So I just went from Stubble to Bruges.
Yeah, so
Because there's not much to talk about with the Stubble game. We had our chances. Jota had a big chance.
Oh, okay.
Two big chances.
Moved on. It just moved out of the. Jesus, don't do that.
That's because I want to get to the Clasico.
Okay, but Jesus Christ, man, Jesus! Like I wasn't. Calm down, okay? So what did you think about the Stubble game? Was that you had your chances, you didn't put them away? That's
it was a lost opportunity. So
okay.
Yeah.
Now hold on. Let me introduce the Bruges game. Calm your tits, Jesus Christ, okay? You guys obviously, as you said, play Bruges. André Silva with the only goal of the game. I didn't watch that game, obviously, focused watching Sporting. But your lineup, Casillas, Maxi played. Felipe Marcano and Alex Telles, Danilo, Herrera, and Oliver, Otavio, Silva, Jota. All right, go right ahead and tell me what you thought about the Bruges game, because like you were saying, out of nowhere.
Okay, sorry if I confused anybody. So
yeah, you confused the heck out of me.
Did I confuse you, Alex?
Kevin, I know what you're talking about.
He's thinking about Sunday. That's what it is. He wasn't paying attention. That's okay. Yeah. But with the Bruges game, I thought that we played very well. Halfway through the second half of the first half, we played very well. We had a ball hit the crossbar. André Silva got a goal there. It was a little bit lucky, I'll admit, because it took a deflection. But
I think it is an own goal. In my opinion.
Shouldn't be though. It shouldn't be an own goal because he headed it and it just took a deflection.
I'm not sure if he was going in goal, but go on ahead.
Did you see it though? Did you see the goal?
Yeah, I see it. I think.
What do you think?
I don't know. I thought it's an own goal. I think it's an own goal, but it's a little bit difficult. It's a little bit difficult to see on the replay if the ball was going, goalwards.
Yeah, but in the second half we were a little bit lazy. Just like Copenhagen, we let Bruges back into the game. And I don't know if you saw Peter, but it was already.
Nah, I didn't see anything.
All right. I thought maybe you might have seen a highlight. I think it might have been like the 82nd, 83rd. Bruges had a brilliant chance. Casillas had to make a huge save and prevented what would have been an embarrassment and a disaster draw for Porto once again at home. So, I hate when they do that because I know that they were thinking about Sunday with Benfica. With the changes they made, they took out Otavio. Who else came off? God, I'm drawing a blank right now. But
the Lyon came off.
Lyon and Jota. So they were obviously thinking about Sunday with the 1-0 lead. They thought that it would be enough, but Bruges fought back after the 75th minute. From 75th minute on, it was all Bruges, and I think that
you're lucky that you didn't end up tying the game.
Honestly, yeah, with the way that things went the last 15. And they had the time waste. The Bruges players were getting frustrated, and I can understand because Porto were time wasting, and the Bruges players were getting yellows because they were complaining, that we were taking too long, and rightfully so. I don't like time wasting, but they did it. We got the win, and that's what's most important.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was actually. Just quick off topic, I was talking to my dad when we were playing Kiev, and I was saying the only games you time waste against freaking Barcelona, Real Madrid, Porto, and Sporting. Only games I allow you to time waste. Other than that, no time wasting. Neves, did you get to catch a little bit of the Porto game, or did you miss out on it? Did you watch Sporting?
No, I did watch some of the Porto game. It's important to note that Setúbal at the beginning of the season went to lose and 2 points away from Benfica, and they even got off to a very good start to the season. So I don't think Setúbal is going to finish this year in the bottom. I think they're going to be challenging for a Europa League spot. And much like Aroca last year took away points from the big clubs, I think that they're this year's Aroca. And it was just a game where Porto wasn't able to finish. And unfortunately, they dropped points. But I think it's important to give some respect to Setúbal because I think Jose Casado's got some good players over there. Some of them he doesn't play, like Ryan Gault. But, it seems like every time he manages, if you look at his history, Jose Casado manages Setúbal. He always seems to put together good results.
A decent side. Yeah, they play well. Yeah, go ahead.
So I was just going to say, I think that it's important to note that Setúbal is your. I don't think they're your better than average team in this league. So it's not a pretty result for Porto, but I also don't think that it's as bad of a result as let's say Sporting going to Nacional. I've always thought that when you're a big club in Portugal and you have an $80, $90 million budget, and you go to play these clubs that have 5 or 6. You got to win the game, and then when you don't win the game, you start complaining about missed penalties and no cards on display. At the end of the day, you got to win those games, and right now they're not doing that. And Benfica is, to their credit, they're winning the games. But Setúbal deserves a little bit of respect too for what they've already done this season.
Yeah. Okay. And
Wait,
yeah,
Peter, was it you that predicted them to get relegated, or
what?
was it you that predicted them to get
Yeah, and then
relegated?
I changed it. I said it on the podcast. I changed it because I completely forgot they were managed by Pizzade. I just completely slipped my mind.
Yeah, I remember that. You did say that Jacques Zato and you changed it. I remember that.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you guys about Setúbal. Since they scored an offside goal against Benfica and they got away with 2 penalties against Porto, you think they're giving away vouchers too? We can go out to dinner.
No, that was funny. That is funny. I think it just happens. I think some refs that we have are just genuinely bad, and mistakes happen.
Yeah, but every game for Porto, every game, we're averaging every game a penalty that's not called in our favor.
I don't know. I don't think
the refs are pretty bad with us too.
They're shit.
I think Otávio is in a penalty, and you can't complain, Mr. Alex, because if William got sent off against Ondelas, he should have been. He wouldn't have missed the penalty against.
And not only that,
too bad.
Not only that, against Porto too. That was highway robbery.
I don't think so that much. I don't really agree on that game, as I said before, but I can see both point of views. Like I try to be as neutral as I could on that game. And Kevin, I don't think it was that much of a robbery. There's a couple calls that,
like Bruto Cesar and William, they should have both got ejected.
Definitely. And I think that Slimani did handball on the free kick that gives the goal, but I think some of these mistakes happen. Some others are not that acceptable. Of course, you accept it. You don't agree with us. It's absolutely fine. We know that. Nothing new. But okay, let's really drop in and focus on the Clásico now. Obviously, games on Sunday, 6 p.m. So 6. Wait, are you guys in daylight savings by then?
Yeah, it'll be 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we got Brian back.
Hello, partners. I'm back and ready for action.
Hey,
great.
Am I too late?
No, you're back.
You're good.
To Benfica.
Oh.
We're about to start it.
You must have been listening.
I did listen for the last 2 minutes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So you told me the best part.
Exactly. He was like, okay, it's that time to jump in. So I was gonna say is that games at 6 in Portugal, so that should be 1 in the US, unless you guys are still in the same time, which is
no, it's 1
p.m. No, the time's changing on Saturday night. Well, Sunday morning.
Saturday night, same shit as Portugal. Okay, there we go. So it's back to 1 p.m.
Sorry, game. 1. Yeah. I'm thinking Bermuda. Sorry.
Yeah, it's 1 p.m. game over there at the US. I'm gonna start with you, Kevin, and I'm just gonna ask you to do a little bit of a thing that just popped in my mind. What's your starting 11?
Obviously Casillas. Moxie.
You start
Philippe?
Maxi? Okay.
Moxie, yes. Moxie, Philippe, Marcano, Telge. The midfield is a little more tricky. Jesus Christ. Herrera, because he always plays good against Benfica. He really does. So Herrera, Danilo, obviously.
Oliver.
Oliver, yes. Oh, no, I was just trying to think of like the forwards. I'm trying to get ahead of myself. Otavio, Jota, and Andres Silva for the forwards.
Okay, so that's exactly the same lineup as
today.
Nuno, Nuno's set up today. So that's quite interesting. But don't you think a couple of those players could use a rest, or maybe start Layun instead of Maxi? Because I thought Layun was going to start. I even tweeted about
Maxi
that.
just got back. He needs to play. It's go big or go home. This is a huge game. They can take a rest after. Portugal's coming up after we have the international break after this game. So
yeah, right. Can't wait for Servi to break his legs and just completely destroy him. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So Kevin, from your point of view, behind, I'd say at this point it's a 6-point game, if you know what I mean, right? The 3 points plus the advantage.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
What do you expect the team is going to play like? What are you hoping that they'll start the game like? You know?
I hope they don't start with nerves. I think they'll probably be a little nervous, but they can't think like that. We're at home. We got the home field advantage, home factor. So I think that we need to come out, make a statement, try to get an early goal, and just like stick it to Benfica. I wouldn't mind another 5-0 win. That would be nice. I don't think it's gonna happen, but we need to come out swinging, not be scared. There's no reason to be scared of Benfica, to be honest. So, we got to go all out, balls to the wall, get the 3 points, cut the lead down to 2. Because if we get a draw, it's not the end of the world. But if we lose, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, it's gonna be like I said. It could be a 6-pointer because Benfica then. You play at the lose, and if Benfica just manage to get a draw, that means that they'll always be ahead of Porto no matter what. So you guys need to win, at least in my opinion, or at least the draw. You need at least one of those results. Let's see. Porto, you guys. Okay, what players do you need to stop to be victorious?
Jesus. I don't really watch much of Benfica, so I'm trying to think here. We obviously got to stop their forwards. I don't know if Jimenez is going to play, if it's Mitroglou, probably Mitroglou. We got to mark him. We got to mark Horta if he plays. I'm not really too worried about Salvio, honestly. And it's pretty much it. I'm not going to... Gedge, yeah. I was going to say Mitroglou, Gedge, and Pizzi. Pizzi just popped into my mind because he could probably cause us some problems.
He's the most dangerous one.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess I could push that question over to you, Alex. If you're Porto, who do you try to stop?
I'd be trying to stop Pizzi.
Just Pizzi.
I know you guys don't like him, but I think he's good.
I know, but just Pizzi's that the only guy you're trying to stop there?
Grimaldo. But he's a left back, so I mean.
Okay. I thought it's...
Mitroglou's not that good.
Yeah, of course. That's why he'll score at the Dragão. And I'm not the only one saying that.
He did score the Alvalade.
He scored at the Alvalade.
He scored every time against Sporting except for us at home. He scored twice against Porto and twice against Sporting. And actually, he won us the title with that win against Sporting. Kind of.
Yeah, he did. Okay, so I thought it was interesting that you didn't mention Servi at all, because I think he's going to be crucial for Benfica, at least in my point of view. Which makes me move to Brian. And Brian, what do you start? Like, what players do you start for this game?
I say, even though I feel like we're a little fatigued, it's play your best team. And right now, the team that's the best is the team that played yesterday.
Except for Faisal.
Well, of course, unfortunately, Faisal won't be fit. So obviously, it's gonna. Some people are saying for Danilo to play instead of Faisal. I prefer Samaris.
I would have liked that, but I don't.
I just don't know enough about Danilo to put him in against Porto. I know people like him. I'm yet to watch the guy.
He
So,
played.
I'm not
He
sure.
played for Braga. He played quite well for Braga.
Right.
He can do the exact same thing for us, I think.
But I was going to say, I actually kind of, even though I'm not a huge fan of PZ, I have to agree with Alex that if they do shut down PZ, that is shutting down a big part of Benfica, because in his last 3 or 4 games, he's completely controlled how we play. He's been huge for us. So if they do shut him down, but of course, like you said,
But at least
Servi,
He's got the
Uh,
most contributions to your guys' team. That's the only reason I said it.
yeah, he does. No,
yeah.
he
But
could,
the good thing though, the good thing is that even if they stop Pizzi, you always have Horta on the bench, and I think that's
Yeah.
crucial because you can move Pizzi out wide, put Horta
Mhm.
in, and that leaves them out, with a little bit of more space to work.
Yeah, we
But
have a lot of depth. Yeah.
yeah, but go on.
Yeah, of course. I think Servi is such a tricky player. Like every time I watch him, his feet just move so quickly. I think if Maxi is a bit older, he is kind of slow. That could be trouble. Salvia is on hot form, and usually I would agree that maybe you don't have to worry about Salvia, but he seems to be reaching his best self again. I think he scored 5 goals for us, and I
Yeah,
don't know.
5 goals.
Yeah, so he's been great for us. He's on hot form. Mitroglou was off, but Mitroglou always scores against Porto and Sporting, except for when we lost at home to Sporting. Every other game he's scored after
Yeah.
that in a
He's-
big game.
yeah,
So
he's
he
been
is a
good.
big game player. He is a big game player, and let's hope he could do it
Did he
again.
score when we beat you guys in the Tassa or no?
Yes,
Yeah, he did. He's the
we
one
were
that
winning.
scored the first goal.
Yeah, we were winning 1-0. Pizzi assist.
After the Stade loss, Mitroglou always scored against Porto or Sporting in every game.
Yeah, he didn't
3 games,
score.
he scored all 3.
He didn't score at the Dragão because freaking Casillas. He
Yeah.
didn't, and then he didn't score at the Luz. That was about it. Because he
But
didn't even
after
start
that,
that game. I
3
think he didn't.
games, scored 3 goals.
Yeah, I think Savio is gonna be like trying to score. Like he's
Yeah.
gonna be like super hyped. I was glad that he scored in the weekend because I was like, that guy's gonna play like 100%. It's gonna be unreal.
Yeah.
Now I ask you the same question, but I'll answer it myself first. What
Mhm.
players we need to stop from Porto? I say Jota, Otávio, and that's about it.
That's wrong. All of them.
Andre Silva. That's the
I
main
don't
one.
even think Andre Silva is that big of a deal with Zoe Lindelof. I mean,
Okay.
Lindelof had Lewandowski in his pocket, so
I hope he makes you guys pay now just for you saying
of
that.
course.
I hope so
Okay.
too now.
Sporting fans supporting Porto again. What's new?
But Brian, do you agree with me, or would you add Andre Silva in there?
Of course, André Silva's on form. It's just like Salvio. Some people might think you don't have to watch him, but when a player's on form, they're in form. André Silva is important to watch, of course, but that's always natural because he's a striker.
Yeah. I was thinking those players that are crucial because
Right.
what I think is that if Andre Silva doesn't get the service, like the same thing
Exactly.
with Mitroglou, he's not going to be as important. So if you, for example, if you get to Otávio and you get to Jota, he's not going to be as efficient as he would have had him.
If we had Feja, I guarantee we would shut the midfield down easily. Unfortunately, he won't be there. I still trust Samadic. I think we can do well with Samadic. And look, we have a terrible record at Porto, so I don't really expect to win. If we get it, it'll be great. If we get a draw, it'll still be great. We'll still be 5 points ahead of them and 4 points ahead of Sporting if they win. So I think coming away, as long as we don't lose, is not the worst result because we are away from home. So that's the important part,
All right, guys. Score predictions.
Wait.
Okay.
Nevs, who do you think is?
I was gonna ask him after. Don't worry, I got all under plan, Alex. Jeez.
I'm just making sure he's not being excluded.
No, he's not. He's not being excluded. Kevin, what's the prediction?
2-0 Porto.
Brian.
It's a tough one. I'm gonna say 2-1 Benfica.
I say 2-0 Benfica because Benfica never wins like 1-0.
It's always 2-0.
It's always 2-0. So, and Alex.
I'm saying 0-0.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad. I'll take that.
Yeah, I will take that as well. Neves. Now it's your turn. What players do Porto need to stop? What players do Benfica need to stop? And who do you think is gonna win?
One player that Porto wishes would be playing for Benfica would be Jonas, because Jonas has never scored against Sporting or Porto in his career, so he's not playing. I think if you're Porto, I mean, obviously you've got to pay attention to Salvio. He's actually scored 7 goals in his last 7 games. And Pizzi as well, I think at times manages to get on the score sheet as well. And of course, Mitroglou always seems to have he actually, unlike Jonas, always seems to come through in the very big games. But you know what? Last year, if I recall correctly, I think when Benfica won in Dragon, it was I think it was Jardel that scored the goal. And a lot of times in these big games, it's not necessarily the regular players that score. It's usually a player you don't really see that much scoring that makes the biggest difference. And I think that might happen this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the Porto end, I mean, it's pretty obvious who you're going to stop. I think number 1, Andre Silva. I mean, Andre Silva, Jota, and Otavio, I think have accounted for. I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I believe they've accounted for most of the goals this year for Porto. I think they even scored against Sporting. So those are the obvious players that you have to kind of stop for Porto. And but I like their player in the back there, Felipe. He even though he had an ugly own goal this year against Inter, he also sometimes on corner kicks tends to get in there and do some damage. So I think he's another player that can be a real factor. But ultimately, my prediction is I think it's going to be 1-1. Benfica, of course, is on a roll. I think they've 17 games now that they haven't lost in the Liga. And Porto, there's no Porto is obviously they have a lot of young players, but there's also a lot of pessimism right now up north with the fact that they're going to have to sell players, which I think they've admitted they have to do because they haven't sold players in the past, so they're kind of in the red financially. So Porto has to. They need the 3 points. It's one thing to say that maybe it's early. Okay, maybe you draw and it's okay. But the reality is, when you're Porto, especially all the success they had, when you look back at Vita Pereira's time and then Andres Villas-Boas and everything before that, Porto being 5 points behind right now is sort of like being 15 points behind. They're not really used to it.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to really see Porto come out and. I tweeted out that, in my opinion, that's all it is. I think, Nuno Espírito Santo, I know he's coached at Spain against Barcelona, Real Madrid, and I know he did a great job at Rio Ave with the Taça da Liga and Taça de Portugal, getting them that far, Rio Ave. But to me, the difference between 2 points and 8 points, like you said, is huge, and they have to get 3 points. And if they lose, then I think there's going to be that talk now, if they fall 8 points behind, everyone's going to be begging for Villas-Boas to come back if he doesn't wind up getting the Inter Milan job. And you're going to start hearing the whisperings of discontent by the board. And then you got to look forward to Pinto da Costa with his sarcastic remarks when they ask him about it. You guys have all been following Portuguese soccer. You know how it goes. So, that's my opinion. But I think it's going to be a 1-1 game. It's one of the 6 games we look forward to whenever the big 3 play. And then obviously after that game, you've got Sporting and Aroca, and Sporting can capitalize if Benfica drops points.
All right. So before we move on to the scores and we finish off the pod, very short answers here, okay, people. Brian, Neil asked us if we think that Benfica is going to make it through the round of 16 in the Champions League. What do you say?
Very possible. If we win in Turkey, it's guaranteed. So it's very possible.
Alex, Sam Fonseca asked you if you think that Sporting should give up on Europa League and Champions League and just focus on the league.
I agree with that, actually. I think that should happen.
Another one for you, Alex, is from Sergio Afoski. Yes, do you guys believe the reaction from Sporting fans towards JJ has been justified?
Do you mean like how
the heat? The heat that he's getting. Yeah,
I don't
the
think
heat.
It's justified.
No,
I don't think they should be saying #JJ out yet. I think he's that good that you gotta give him a bit longer.
All right. And one final question. This one goes out for everybody, and I'll let you go first, Alex. Again, Sergio asked, who has been your biggest disappointment at all three games plus Braga this year? Like the disappointing player.
Oh, disappointing player. I thought you meant team.
No, I think.
Alan Ruiz for me.
Okay. And Kevin.
Haven't seen much of this player, but I would have to say João Carlos Teixeira. I thought he was very promising, but I'd have to pick him.
Mm-hmm. Brian.
At Benfica?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I don't know. I was probably just Mitroglou. I don't know. I think all of our team's really good right now. Oh, Julio Cesar.
Okay. Carrillo for me. And Neves. Neves. Who has been the biggest disappointment, or like team or player from the big three?
I think, in my opinion, obvious one would be Elias. Obviously, he did not do anything to, when Adrian went out to step in. He was an absolute disaster. I'm also not a big fan of Julio Cesar. I'm still having nightmares of watching him against Napoli.
Mm-hmm.
Team-wise, I think it's obvious. I mean, Porto obviously is not having a good year, but to me, because of all the talk and because of all the comments, I think the biggest disappointment team-wise has to be Smart.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. One question that just popped up, Kevin, and I know that you need to go, but this one's for you.
It's okay.
What player describes André Silva's form best? Talisca, and then streaky, or Falcão, consistent goal scorer? Which one would you compare him to?
Falcão, I think. He's not as good, but if you're going to go with scoring a goal every match, I would have to go with the Falcão because streaky, no. I know there were some games he didn't score, but for the most part, he's been scoring in almost every single one.
Mm-hmm. All right. And I think that's it. I'm sorry, Sergio, if you even tweet anymore. We'll try to get to you after the podcast is over because, people got to do something, got to do stuff here in the US.
Sucks, this freaking time difference.
Yeah, the time difference sucked. I mean, there's nothing we could have done about the games.
Yeah.
Kevin, you want to run through the scores and all that as you usually do?
Yes, sir. Benfica 3, Paços Ferreira 0, Nacional and Sporting 0-0, Tondela 1, Moreirense 2, Setúbal 0, Porto 0, Boa Vista and Estoril 0-0, Aroca 1, Marítimo 0, Rio Ave 0, Lord Marega, a.k.a. Guimarães 3, Braga 2, Belenenses 1, Chaves 1, and Feirense 1.
All right.
And hold on, I forgot the table. I gotta get the table.
Okay.
First place is Porto. No, just kidding. First place Benfica, 25 points. Second place Porto Braga with 20. Fourth is Sporting with 18. Fifth Guimarães with 17. Sixth Chaves with 13. Seventh and eighth Rio Ave Feirense with 11. 9th, 10th, and 11th is Setúbal, Boa Vista, Marítimo with 10 points. Paços Ferreira and Belenenses in 12th and 13th with 9. Nacional, Moreirense, Estoril with 8 points. And Aroca also 8 points. And last place team is Tondela with 6.
All right. Before we go, I want to point out that BTV said that FaZe suffered 2 different injuries: a sprained ankle and a concussion in the TBO tarsal.
The
I don't know what
tibia?
that is. Tibio tarsal.
So he got a contusion?
Yeah, concussion. Or a contusion.
No, not a concussion, contusion.
Yeah, contusion. Because this is Bing translating, so I'm sorry.
No, it's contusion in the tibula.
In the tibia and the sprained ankle. So there you go. 2 injuries at once. Should miss the game against Porto. I want to thank Neves for coming on today. I know this one was a little bit weird because of the time difference and all that. We had to cut it a little bit shorter than we normally run.
He has to come back though when we have more time. He has to
exactly.
Absolutely, I'll come back.
Yeah, you have to come back. Maybe in a couple of weeks. Who knows? Before we go off air, I want to point out that we're gonna have FC Porto Global here, or Simon, next week to review the Classic, where we'll be focusing most of our time on. Sorry, Alex. But that's it for. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Peter1678. Brian is at Brian_NN. Neves is at PSoccer.com. Kevin is POR_soccer, and Alex is at Rezinho 00.
Zero.
There you go.
One more thing. Can I throw something out?
Yeah, go right
Whether
ahead.
you are God-fearing man or an atheist, please pray for Feja. On behalf of all the Benfica fans, please pray for Feja. We need him back very quickly. Just pray for him. Thank you very much.
Right. See you guys.
Take it easy.
Take care.